Hi, my name's Cameron Carlson with AnimeOnLocation.tv at Matsuricon 2011. And I have with me the talented Brina Palencia. How you doing?
I'm doing quite well. Glad to be here.
I heard you had a little rough tumble getting in.
Well, it was. I was actually filming yesterday, right before coming in, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get off set in time. But luckily for me, I'm actually doing the film with Billy Zane, and since he's like, you know, the star talent. Whenever I mentioned that I was hoping to be able to catch a flight, he was like, "Oh," and he was like, "You guys need to let her go. She has to catch a flight. Whatever you need to get with her, you can just get her next week." And so I was like, "Thank you, Billy Zane." It was awesome.
All right, so fans that don't know, how'd you get started in the world of anime and acting?
You know, whenever I was in high school, I had actually taken a tour of Funimation Studios, and whenever I graduated, I remembered where the studios were, and I just happened to end up going to a community college just around the corner, and I literally just walked in and asked how to audition. And back then, it was a lot easier to get in, because that was 8 years ago. So they put me on a waiting list, and I waited about 2 months, and then they did like an open casting call, and then from there I did a lot of very, very small parts, very small bit parts, and then my first featured character was Nina Tucker in Full Metal Alchemist. And then from there I just got more and more stuff and started directing and music directing and all that. So
That's really cool. And you also don't just work on anime, you work on live action roles as well. How do you also see that the two can help with one another?
They are very different. I feel like, I don't know how they help with one another. I think it's a good reminder whenever you do other forms of acting that to stay, I don't know, it just kind of keeps you on your toes, I guess. I don't know how they help each other. I mean, acting is acting, and I feel like a lot of people think whenever you do voice acting, you are just making crazy voices. But, you know, there's a lot more to it than that, and you really do create a character. And I think getting more into doing the live action stuff, it's a lot more required of you to do you know, backstory and really create a being. And I feel like that's kind of helped me in my voice acting a lot as well. And I'm really good at taking line reads on set whenever I do live action stuff. Yeah. It's funny, a lot of people that have only ever done film oftentimes cannot take line reads if a director gives them a line read. But because I do voice acting, it's really easy.
That's cool. In your years of acting, do the two sides of live action and anime ever cross and meet each other maybe for a cool project? Like half it's animated and the other half is you actually in the film?
That has never happened to me, but that would be awesome.
Okay. So I really got to ask, how did you become an assistant director at Okatron 5000?
Okatron 5000 is actually Christopher Sabat's studio, and he is a very good friend of mine, and I had been directing under Colleen Klinkenbeard. She was my producer for a long time, and I was doing that full time, and then I decided to step away from directing anymore. And Chris just asked me, you know, since you're not doing it full time anymore, do you want to just come in every now and then when I'm out of town to help me out for stuff? And I was like, yeah, sure. So it's because I really do enjoy ADR directing. I just don't like the time suck that it is. So I'm glad that I am still able to, you know, have fun and do the directing portion of it, but then I can just do it for a day and then leave.
That's really cool. And we spoke with Jeremy Lee at ColossusCon 2011 with the upcoming project Throwing Stones. How's it like working with her and all that fun cast?
It's actually a really great cast. Hilariously enough, Lynn Andrews, who's also on Throwing Stones, is in this film with me that I'm working on right now. So it was kind of cool to be like, hey, good to see you. But, you know, I actually didn't really do all that much within the series. I was more on the live web show. I hosted the live web show, and I got to interview them every week, every time that they would release a new episode. So it was really fun, and it was really fun to get to do a hosting gig that was live, because I do hosting for GameStop TV, but that's all scripted, and I have no say in what I'm saying, essentially. And so it was really, really fun, kind of having to keep on your toes and, you know, getting to just be yourself and have fun. So it was nice.
That's cool. And you've also worked on a really, really popular game, Borderlands, with fellow voice actors Ian Sinclair and Colleen Klinkenbeard. What was it like being at Gearbox Studio, knowing it's right there in Texas, and being able, like, hey, I'm at a really awesome game?
It was really fun, and I was really excited to be able to play a character like Mad Moxxi, because I never play sexy characters at all. And I still, to this day, don't understand why they cast me, but I'm grateful and thankful, and it's really, really fun, because I just, you know, I do a wide range of characters, but that's one archetype that I've just never really gotten to explore a lot. So it was really fun to do something new.
I have to admit, I played that game all the way through, all the DLCs, and I loved every minute. I'm like, hey, I know that voice. It's cool. So, what's it like having your brother be in there at Funimation and have him on the other side of the booth every once in a while, you know?
Yeah, I mean, when he first started and he was just engineering, now he's kind of the, like, audio department manager, kind of. His official title is, like, production assistant, but he does way more than that. He pretty much runs the ADR audio portion. But anyway, it was really fun, and it was awesome. It's been awesome to see him, you know, climb the rungs of the ladder and, you know, start to get more and more power and everything, because I was actually the one that got him the job. Well, I got him the interview. He got himself the job, but I got him the interview. So I'm really proud of him. And the only time that it's ever been awkward is whenever he had to engineer Aquarion, which if anybody has ever seen that, just watch clips of it and you'll know why that was awkward. That was unbelievably awkward. But beyond that, it's actually really great. We're best friends, so it's been really great to be able to see him all the time. Because even when I'm, you know, a lot of times when I'm working so much, I don't get to see my family. But since he's there while I'm working, I get to see him all the time, so it's nice.
That's really cool. And you've also worked on Ghosts of Goodnight Lane. What was it like working on both those projects, and can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, Ghost of Goodnight Lane I'm actually working on right now. That was what I was filming yesterday. And it's been a really fun experience. It's very educational. It's my first film that I've ever done that has had bigger name stars on it, like Billy Zane's on it, Lacey Chabert, Danielle Harris, Matt Dallas. I'm probably missing someone. But it's been a really educational experience for me, and it's been really cool because all of those people, although they're kind of, you know, stars, are so nice and humble, because I feel like there's this idea that in order to be famous you have to be a dick, and it's totally not true. Yeah, I mean, anyone that I've come across that's very successful in the film industry is usually very humble and very kind and very sweet. So I feel like it's been really good for me to see that, and very reassuring.
That's awesome. So, in your many roles of working on anime, what's been one of your favorite to do?
Definitely, my two favorite would have to be Maho and Beck, and Natsuki and Summer Wars, because both of them were very sentimental to me, and I felt like there were a lot of. With Maho, there were just so many parallels between our lives, and you know, she's very close with her brother. I'm very close with my brother. Getting to sing was really awesome. Yeah. And then with Summer Wars, I was very, very close with my grandmother, and I was actually raised by my grandmother and by my mother growing up, and she passed away 3 years ago, so I dedicated my whole performance to my grandmother. So it was a very sentimental recording process, so that will always and forever be remembered in my mind as just such a almost spiritual experience, you know what I mean?
I had both of them, and I was so angry when the Academy Awards took Summer Wars off. I was so angry.
It was sad, but whatever. The Illusionist was pretty awesome.
Okay, so is there any way that fans can keep up with you on the internet via Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr?
Yeah, I have a Facebook just under Brina Palencia, and then I also just started a Twitter. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but one of the producers on The Ghost of Goodnight Lane asked me if I would, and I was like, okay. But I'm starting to get into it, so you guys can follow me on Twitter. You could also, I would recommend following The Ghost of Goodnight Lane as well on Twitter and on Facebook. They're coming out with a website pretty soon, but it's going to be a really fun horror movie, and I think it'll be cool.
Hey, is there any upcoming projects that you can talk about right now, because we all know about those and those non-disclosures? Right. So
I think I can talk about the second season of Black Butler. Mm-hmm. That's coming out, and we've been working on that, and I'm really excited about it. And then, of course, once again, for the bajillionth time, I'll mention The Ghost of Goodnight Lane. It's really fun. I play a druggy bad girl in it, which is really fun because that's totally not me. No. Yeah, I actually I even lied in the audition because they were like, do you know how to smoke? And I was like, yeah, duh. And I've never smoked in my life because I hate smoking. I think it's disgusting. So I completely lied on the audition because they were like, we just want to make sure that there's somebody that actually knows how to smoke because it's so annoying when you see people in films that clearly don't know how to smoke. I was like, yeah, I know. Those losers that don't know how to smoke. And so I got like herbal cigarettes and practiced for a week before we started filming, and I totally fooled him. So I can't wait till he sees this. But yeah, I totally lied.
All right, well, thanks so much for coming out here to Matsuricon, and have a nice flight home, and thanks for talking to us on animelocation.tv.
Yeah, of course. I've had a great time.
Thank you.
Thanks.